And now, this is a four-season tent. I'm gonna tell you guys that this is warm. This is pretty warm. Welcome back. This is number 5 of my training hikes. I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different today. So what I'm gonna be doing today is testing out my camping gear. And before you go on long camping trips, this is really important. Making sure that your equipment can actually handle what you need it to do is gonna be essential when it comes time on the trail. Because if something goes wrong and you're not equipped for it, that's gonna make your camping experience a lot worse. And it's gonna make it a lot more challenging. So today, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be testing out my camping gear and making sure everything is fully functional and well working before I go on my long camping trips. Right now I'm on a paved path. It's hard to see. This is actually an old road, but shortly we will be going off trail and deep into the woods, so I can get some content for you guys and test out this camping gear. It's nice today. I'm very grateful to be hiking with the sun out, shining right over there. Still in the negatives, but it definitely makes it feel a lot better. It's nice being in the woods too, where there's not as many open areas for the wind to get to you. It definitely feels a little bit better today. I'd definitely be lying if I said it was warm, but I'm not freezing my butt off like I have been before. Look at this path. It looks really pretty. These are coyote prints, and you can tell because there's a few of them. They run in packs. They're a little bit too big to be fox prints, and they have a little bit of a drag behind them, and that's because coyotes, when they walk, they don't pick up their feet as much as a fox would. Really cool to see. It looks like there were maybe 2 or 3 of them walking up and down this path last night. This area is really neat. This is on the north side of Hoover Dam Reservoir in Ohio, if you guys know where that is. We're hiking on the path right now. For those of you who live in the area or know anything about Ohio recently, is it actually went through a drought this summer, and so the reservoir is actually almost completely dry, meaning that I can walk all the way across it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get out in that open area, and we're gonna work our way towards one of what would be the islands, but now is an accessible plot of woods. So the trail continues this way. However, I've got an opening right over here that goes out into what would be the reservoir. However, it is dried up. So we're gonna start working our way this way towards one of those islands out there. This is really cool with the sun shining right over there. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's just a really cool sparkle across the snow. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be working my way towards that tree line over there, so I can kind of walk up along it, kind of block myself from all this wind, because I'm out in the open right now and it's just brutal. What we're coming up on right here is a man-made structure, the platform up on the top, and a perch. And this is an osprey nest. This was built for conservation purposes by Department of Natural Resources, put into Hoover. I'm not seeing anything up there. I think they clear it off every year, but they've successfully reproduced a lot of osprey using this right over the water. Coming up to this little corner right up here, I'm gonna be going around the bend, and then we should be going under a bridge. And then once we get into one of these inlets, there's a couple little what would be islands that I want to check out. And normally these would be habitats completely surrounded by water and isolated from public access. However, with the drought, we've been able to just walk over to all of these. So I'm going to take advantage of that and kind of explore and see something new I maybe haven't seen before. Just emptiness all around us. Came from about a quarter mile that way, and then there's just so much emptiness around us, and this is all dry. It's just absolutely crazy. There's no ice underneath any of this. It is just bone dry. I just walked around the corner. There's our bridge right up there. I'm here at the bridge now. We're gonna walk under it. What you're looking at straight ahead is an island. It's connected by land now because of the low water levels, but that is what we're gonna be heading towards. We're not going right by the front, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk past it, or we're gonna loop around to the back of it. Now, when you're camping, location is everything. Making sure you're somewhere flat ensures you're able to sleep. Making sure that you're somewhere that has easy access means you have an escape route. Depending on where you are, that may or may not matter. But making sure you're in the right place is gonna make the situation safer for you. It's gonna make it more comfortable. It's gonna make it a lot easier to access. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys what an ideal camping situation would look like. There's an old bridge that went over this. Pretty neat. Now, I think I found the most ideal camping spot that I have around me, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. I've got some brush around me, a smaller entrance. I've got large trees behind me, and this is important if you're in a cold area. Being tucked away by the trees is gonna reduce the wind, which is gonna help you stay warmer and help you maintain a fire. An entrance like this means that this area is easily accessible. Another important thing, which is right behind me, a clean water source. Now, in the winter, this doesn't necessarily matter. If you've got a fire going, you can boil snow. However, in the summer, fall, or if you're not in a frozen area, this is gonna be critical to maintaining your water supply. So I've chosen this area because I have an open, accessible route if I need to escape. I've got a clean water source, and I've got trees and brush to keep the wind out of my area in case I need fire and to maintain warmth. Now I've got this large open area. This is where I've decided to set up camp. I'm gonna walk right through this opening right here, and I've got this flat area right in here. We're gonna clear out some sticks, and we're gonna get to setting up our camp. First thing to set up is gonna be our tent. My tent of choice is going to be the Nightcat 2-person tent. This tent weighs approximately 3.5 pounds since I've removed some stuff from it. This is a 3-season tent, not made for winter, but I'm going to show you guys a hack so you can make it one. Now we've gotten our tent set up, so we can start loading our gear up inside of it. Now we are inside of the tent. I'm gonna close everything up and we can finish setting stuff up now that we don't have any wind or anything around us. Our sleeping bag, put that over there for now. I'm gonna put my non-essentials over here in this corner. So I'll leave my sleeping bag over here because we definitely need that. This is what we're gonna need next. Now that I've gotten all my non-essentials out of the way, this is what's really gonna help us start warming our bodies up. This is a sleeping mat. So one of the most important things when you're camping is elevation from the ground. So this is gonna elevate me from the ground so I'm not touching it. I'm not sleeping on the cold, hard ground. This helps you maintain your body heat. This is an inflatable one. Any really work. They do make non-inflatable ones, but inflatable is what you're gonna see most of the time. Now we've gotten our inflatable sleeping pad set up. Now we've got a little bit of elevation from the ground, and this is gonna help a lot when we're sleeping. If you're in a really cold area, you might wanna consider a portable sleeping cot, because that's gonna elevate you a foot or two off the ground, and that's gonna make a huge difference. Now we can get out the sleeping bag. Sleeping bag is in. Now, one of the things I did mention before about the location, you guys noticed I chose an area that's wooded, but next to an area that's very open. And I did that strategically to help warm my tent. Not only am I not in the woods all the way, but I'm not out in the open. So I'm getting blockage from the trees, but I'm in an area that's just open enough so the sun is still shining on my tent. So if you look, I got a bright green lit up wall right here, and that's the sun shining right through, and I can actually feel a little bit of heat coming through it. Might remember me telling you that this is a 3-season tent. It's made for spring, summer, and fall. It's not made for winter. But really with any tent, I'm going to show you guys a little trick that you can do that may help you. Now, what makes my tent a 3-season tent and not a 4-season tent is that there are vents on top. And this is to help vent out everything that you breathe out. But if we want to maintain heat, we got to somehow get rid of this vent. And I'm going to show you guys how I do that. For that, we got to throw the shoes back on. Now, this rain cover right here is held on by these little clips. So I'm going to undo these clips. Now, the vent on top of my tent is fully exposed. But if I'm going to be warmer in the tent, I'm not going to need my coat. So I'm going to use that as a shield to cover the vents and insulate the tent. I'm going to put the cover back on and strap it in place. Just like that. I'm back in the tent now. And as you can see, my coat has completely blocked that vent, and I actually don't feel any cold air coming in from above me now. And now this is a 4-season tent. When I tell you guys that this is warm, this is pretty warm. This side of the tent is actually warm to the touch, and I can just feel that heat right in my face. We've now tried out all of our basic necessity gear, so it's time to pack up and head out. We don't need our heat shield anymore, so I'm gonna put my coat back on. 100% tent ready to go. I got my bag packed, we are ready to go. Make sure when you're leaving a campsite, you don't forget anything. Don't litter. Try to leave the place as nice as you found it. As you can see, there's some snow and some brush pushed down, but other than that, if that wasn't here, you would never know that I was camping here. We're gonna get going now. There was a spot. We had water access the entire time. We're near an open area. We had sunlight, and we were tucked away in the woods. Perfect camping spot. Look at the snow. Just sparkling. It's really cool. I got a little bit of a hike back to the car. Today's video is really just showing you guys the camping gear, why it's important to test it, what does a good camping spot look like, just kind of showing you those basic necessities of what you need to camp regardless of the weather conditions. So I hope you guys found some use out of it. I'm gonna get back to the car, warm up, and go about my day. You guys have a good one.